Hello Karptastic ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of this TCGO series. We are taking a look at a Machamp EX deck with the crazy hammer attack. As always, if you want to skip the deck analysis, just click the annotation on the screen and it will take you straight to the battles. So the crazy hammer attack here does 80 damage plus 80 more damage if we are affected by a special condition, and then we get to remove all special conditions from this Machamp EX. We are running 3 copies of the Machamp EX. I should note that this deck was inspired by a deck list from the Charizard launch. Website is down below in the description. Basically, I copied their deck list, then playtested it a bit online and tweaked it to my own desire. So besides the Machamp, we are playing a 2-2 line of Ariados with the Poisonous Nest ability, which allows us to poison both active Pokemon. So the Spinarak is we are running 2 copies of the Spinarak and 2 of the Ariados. We are also running 2 copies of the Landorus as a tech support for Shout of Power, which allows us to attach a basic energy card from our discard pile to one of our benched Pokemon, being the Machamp EX here. And then the most interesting part about this deck is this 2-2 line of Bronzong together with the Smeargle here. So the Bronzong has the Metal Links ability, which allows us to Metal Links the metal energies from our discard pile onto our benched Machamps. And then if our Machamp hits the active spot, we use Smeargle's second coat ability to swap out the metal energies for fighting energies in our discard pile. That's the gist of this deck. That's how this deck can cope with the current meta, because the current meta is quite fast. But as we see here, we need 3 energy attachments, and by this energy acceleration with the Bronzong, as well as the Landorus and the Smeargle, the Smeargle here, we can keep up with our opponent and knock them out with the crazy hammer attack combined with the Poisonous Nest here. In order to get the energies in the discard pile, we are using 3 Battle Compressors as well as 2 Acrobikes. Our draw engine is 4 Professor Sycamores, 2 Birches, as well as 2 Shamans combined with 4 Ultra Balls to get out the Shamans, as well as the other Pokemon. As far as the item cards is concerned, we are running a Focus Sash for the Machamp and the Landorus, very good for matchups like Night March, as well as 2 Float Stones because our Pokemon have our Machamps have quite a heavy retreat cost. Same goes for the Bronzong here. And then we are also playing 4 VS Seekers to get our supporters back into our hands, or to get to them faster as a combination of Battle Compressor, then Battle Compress away the supporter and get it out with a VS Seeker. Finally, we are playing 3 Skyfields as a stadium because we have so many Pokemon to get out. We need a lot of space on our bench, and then if our opponent counters our Skyfield, we just get rid of the Shamans that we use to get out our Pokemon. That's about the most important parts of this deck. If you have any further questions, just put them down below. If you've got any suggestions, improvements, or things you would change, comment them down below in the comment section. Subscribe for more content and give this video a thumbs up if you appreciate the effort or enjoyed the video. So here we go, let's find ourselves an opponent. And our first opponent is Trans Gods with a fire deck, just a pure plain fire deck. That's pretty interesting. I wonder what kind of fire deck it will be. Will it be a Charizard deck, Entei Charizard? Maybe with the Fennekins. What's the Delphox line with Fennekin? I'm not sure. We will see. We will start off with the Machamp in the active spot, put the Smeargle on our bench. We get a decent hand, I would say. Oh, so it's the... Oh, this is my opponent is playing a pretty fun deck, the Typhlosion deck. Really fast. We really need to watch out for that. It starts knocking out your Pokemon in the 2nd turn, really. This deck that my opponent is playing does not have an end game. It's all about the beginning by evolving the Cyndaquil as fast as possible into the Typhlosion and then just discarding cards from the top of his deck in hopes he will discard fire energies for the first attack there, the massive eruption. That's why my opponent's deck is playing like 30 energies, I'm guessing, which is really a lot. So finally my opponent gets a basic. We will definitely be drawing into more cards. The more cards, the better for us. Okay, that's fine by me. We will be seeing an energy attachment from my opponent for sure. There we go. And that might be it. Because all my opponent has to do... Oh, so we see a judge. He's judging our hand down to 4 cards. It's pretty sad for us. We get terrible draws as well. So let's just see how this goes. We will have to hope for some luck here. Our opponent will need a rare candy now. Skyla possibly to get the rare candy. Or if he doesn't have it in his hand. You see a second energy attachment with the burning energy. Another judge. So our opponent had a pretty terrible hand apparently. No, okay, that's better for us. So now we get a bit of a better hand. We get Embered for 30 damage. Our opponent misses out on the opportunity to evolve the Cyndaquil here. And we are actually going to knock out the Cyndaquil right now. Let's just do that. Call it the end of the game here. So that was a pretty short first match. My opponent was playing a really fun deck, but did not succeed to get it going. As I said, you need to get that deck going from turn 2. Knock out your... He had to knock out our Machamp in turn 2 there in order to to do something to us. So let's go for another game here. And we are facing some great reward with a grass deck, a psychic deck, and a lightning deck, as well as some colorless Pokemon. So might be Vespiqueen deck, possibly. Although usually you see fire type in there as well for the Flareon. We start off Mulligan, which is not the greatest thing to do. Okay, yes, please. I want to draw new cards. We don't get anything. We got 3 Sycamores there. That's pretty crazy. Oh well, this is not very good here. Let's start off with the Bronzor. Put the Smeargle on our bench. This is a pretty bad first hand. Pretty bad. And we are facing a Night March deck, so this is not good for us. We definitely need to get some things going here. Let's use this Battle Compressor. Start discarding these metal energies. Here they are. As well as a Sycamore. Then let's get out Machamp. Here we go. Attach this fighting energy to our Machamp and go for the Sycamore that we just discarded. So we managed to get out of the bad hand that we started with. We do want to preserve this Bronzor there, so ideally I would like to find a way to retreat it. I'm going to go for the Ultra Ball. Discard this Lysander and probably the Birch here. I want to keep the AZ to possibly scoop up the Bronzor if it does not get knocked out next turn, which it likely will. So we are going to go for a Shaman here and use another Battle Compressor. Let's see what else can we get rid of. We will get rid of this Battle Compressor, no need for that anymore, as well as a Fighting Energy, and that will do it. So what do we have in our discard pile now? We've got 2 metal energies and a fighting energy, 2 fighting energies, which is quite ideal. Let's play the Shaman down and see if we can. Oh, we do get another Bronzo, so that's really good. And we will definitely attach this Focus Sash to the Machamp here. This will be critical for us because that will allow us to knock out 2 of our opponent's Pokemon before he knocks us out. Having that way we have a fair price trade with the Night March deck, which is crucial when you're facing a Night March deck, that you can keep up with the price trades. So there we go. That's already 3 Lampents in the discard pile, which is doing 60, which is enough to knock out the Bronzor in the active spot. Another Battle Compressor. Going to go for probably the last Lampent, as well as some Pumpkaboos or some Joltix. So this Night March deck is probably running Vespiqueens because we saw the grass type. So here we see 3 Pumpkaboos. So our opponent has only got a couple of Joltix left in his deck, as well as probably the Vespiqueens then. You see the switch into the Pumpkaboo, and because our opponent didn't manage to get out, he didn't manage to get out the double colorless, which is crucial for my opponent. That's really bad for him. We will actually be scooping up the Shaman here and leave the Bronzor in the active spot because we want to draw into some more cards. I think the game just kind of froze here on me. Yeah, I think it just did. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so we don't get what we want here. I would have liked to get a Floatstone and a Bronzong, but we miss out on that, so oh well. Let's just poison the Pumpkaboo there. Why not? Why the heck not? So both me and my opponent are having a pretty bad luck here in getting our stuff going. We really would have liked to get that Bronzong. Start Metal Linking. Next turn, we might actually want to promote the Landorus here and use some energy. I mean, put down the Landorus here and try and use it in the following turns for some energy acceleration. Also very good for knocking out this Joltik and for keeping the price trade fair. So can our opponent dig up the double colorless energy? That's the question here. It might be that some of them are prized in my opponent's prize card pile. Okay, so he did get out the double colorless. He is going to knock out our Bronzor, starting off the prize trade. Our opponent did not attack. That's interesting. I'm not sure why our opponent did not attack there. That is really really quite interesting. Well, I'm not going to complain. So I will actually go for the Birch here now. Play down the Skyfield. And hopefully we can now dig into our deck and get out that Floatstone. We do get heads. We got a Focus Sash, but no Floatstone, still no Floatstone. We do, however, get the Level Ball, with which we will get a Bronzong and play it down here. so that we can start Metal Linking. Our Machamp is fully powered up, so we will start Metal Linking onto the Landorus here. And then also attach a Focus Sash to that Landorus. And call it a day. So this is a really slow game, really slow matchup against a Night March deck, which usually goes pretty fast. I've got no clue as to why our opponent did not knock out our Bronzor right there. Oh yes, now I see. Oh, he didn't have the last energy. I thought he had the stadium down. I see now. Okay, so that was, I didn't see it there for a moment. You're probably screaming right now at me that my opponent didn't have enough energy. So what we are going to do now is actually promote this Landorus. And we will be going for a knockout on this Pumpkaboo with the Landorus. So use the Metal Links here. Use the last Metal Energy, put it onto our Landorus on the bench. And then we will also... what should we do? We will put down... Actually power it up. No, I'm not sure. We'll go for another Birch and see if we can get another Machamp. Start powering up that Machamp. We don't get another Machamp, so that's fine. Let's just go for the second code. And switch out with a Fighting Energy from our discard pile. And we will just knock out this Pumpkaboo right here, as well as use some energy acceleration onto our Landorus on the bench. Even though it can just knock out these Joltics with a single energy. Oh man, I forgot again. The Pumpkaboo is fighting resistant. Oh, so many mistakes this game, so many mistakes. I guess that's the way you learn. That's the way you learn. I completely forgot about resistance. So we will manage to stay alive here, but we missed out on the well, actually we didn't, because the Pumpkaboo got knocked out by poisoning, which is basically the same as us knocking it out last turn, I guess. So let's get out another Machamp. We are down to 13 cards. Oh, we don't have another Machamp. That's why they are all prized. That's crazy. I didn't notice that. Well, well. I don't think I want to get anything out then. All I will want to do is Metal Links onto this Landorus. And then just use the Shout of Power here. Try and find another Machamp. There we go. We've got another Machamp. Now we can start powering up that Machamp as well. We're definitely doing pretty well, even though we made, even though I made quite a few mistakes. Because we are ahead in the prize trade right now. Luckily enough, the Pumpkaboo got knocked out by the poisoning there, allowing us to still get that prize that we tried to get by attacking the Pumpkaboo. So here we see the Combis in the prize cards of my opponent. Is definitely playing the Vespiqueen. You also get to see a Bridget probably try and go for another Combi if he does play another one. Because I think all of his Joltics are already out there. So here we see the Combi. Will we see the Vespiqueen? There's two of them in the discard pile already. Okay, let's promote the Landorus here. And then put down our Machamp. Attach a Metal Energy to it. And now we will switch out, actually, we will switch out with the second code. This energy for a Fighting Energy. So that we can then Metal Links the Metal Energy onto the Machamp on the bench. And that's how it's done. Let's see, I already used my 2 focus sashes, so there is no point digging for another one. Let's go Shout of Power. Hitting for weakness and leading in the prize trade once more. Our Lunder is definitely or most likely going to get knocked out now. But we will just promote our Machamp EX with the Focus Sash. Get rid of the shame in here. Easy prize from our opponent. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my opponent for playing down the Dimension Valley, even though it's of no use for him anymore because all of his Bump Caboos are knocked out. Okay, not too worried about that. As I said, was expecting the Landorus to get knocked out. We will just play the Machamp and put a ton of unnecessary damage onto this Bump Caboo here. Let's go for the Poisonous Nest. And as well as the Crazy Hammer. There we go. I think I forgot to use the Metal Links this turn. But our Machamp is nearly powered up, so it doesn't really matter that much. We are confident that we can take this matchup because we just have to knock out this Joltik and then knock out the Vespiqueen on the bench there to take this game. And I don't see our opponent taking 3 prizes before we take the last 2. So I will actually play down this Metal Energy onto the Bronzong on the bench. And we will just go for another Crazy Hammer. More unnecessary damage onto the poor Joltik dog. 360 damage. And just like that, we are going to defeat a Night March deck with this Machamp deck. Despite the mistakes that were made, despite the slow hand, we will be knocking out this or defeating this Night March deck. Our opponent gets out a Lysander, but I don't see what my opponent would want to do with that. He targets the other Machamp, but that's like... there's no point to it, because we just still have this Machamp here. And we will take the game right now. 1-1 in prizes. Too bad for my opponent. Let's use the Poisonous Nest and a final Crazy Hammer, but my opponent cannot stand getting knocked out and me taking the last prize. He concedes before I can do so. So I hope that you enjoyed this Night March matchup with the Machamp deck. I know I made a couple of mistakes there, but that's the way you learn, you know. You play matches, you make some mistakes, you learn from them, and that's how you get better at the game. Let's take a look at the stats. We did 800 damage, our opponent did 1040 damage, our biggest attack was 360, and we drew 58 cards. Look at that, we outspeeded the Night March deck. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like or a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe for more content. Have a cardtastic day, and I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.